I wanted to make this video because this is something that's been on my mind, and I'm really hoping that there's somebody out there that's going through the same thing and they want some sort of confirmation. Lots of people in life love the idea of being really good at something. In this specific video, I want to talk about being insanely good at something. It could be swimming, it could be marketing, it could be being a developer, anything. Lots of people want to be insanely good, but I think people focus way too much on the second word, which is good. They don't focus on the part of insanely. For you to be insanely good, you need to be some sort of insane. And so the reason I bring this up is, even for myself currently right now, I struggle with if what I'm doing is the right thing. And I don't know if working the amount of hours that I do is worth it. But then I always get remembered that if I want to be really good at the pursuit that I'm currently on, you have to be insane. If you want to be insane, I think it really comes down to one thing. It's taking micro urgency, but being patient with the macro. And so what I mean by that is, in the 10-year strategy that you currently have for yourself or your business or whatever, you need to be patient with what results come within those 10 years. But you need to act with so much urgency from day to day. If something happens in that day, you need to get onto it right away. But you need to be patient with the results that you are aiming for within the 10 years. I believe this is the only success factor in you wanting to be insanely good at something. And so the reason why I say this is because I think oftentimes there are three types of decisions that most people struggle with. There are either hat decisions, haircut decisions, or tattoo decisions. Where hat decisions like this, it doesn't matter if I wear a hat like this, or a Blue Jays hat, or a Tommy Hilfiger hat. It doesn't matter, right? What hat I choose to wear that day probably won't make a big difference in how my day will go, or the overall trajectory of my life. It's pretty insignificant. So in those decisions where it is the equivalent of just picking what hat to wear, just make a decision and just go with it. It doesn't matter what you choose, because there's no downside behind the decision that you make. Haircut decisions, these are decisions that are going to affect your life, or whatever you're deciding for the next 3 or 4 weeks. Everybody gets haircuts at varying times. But for this example, this decision that you make is going to change the trajectory of your next 3 to 4 weeks. I'm going to go deeper on this after I explain the tattoo one, because this is what most people struggle with. Tattoos are decisions that are permanent. Whatever you choose, you are going to stick with it. The tattoo that you get, you're going to be waking up every single day. It's going to be on your arm or wherever the fuck you got it. And you have to live with the decision that you got. Most people understand their tattoo decisions. They know the decisions that are going to change the entire trajectory of their life. And so they know how to approach it. I don't think people have a problem with deciding whether the right decision of a tattoo decision is. They know what to choose. And because of hyper-analysis, I don't think people have a problem with either hat or tattoo decisions. The problem is when people have haircut decisions. People don't have enough data to have any pattern recognition, and so when they are factually making a haircut decision, they extrapolate it so that it seems like it's a tattoo decision. But in actuality, it's really not. It's just only going to change the next 2 or 3 weeks. But they think that the next 2 or 3 weeks is also going to affect the rest of their lives. And so that's why people take way too long making decisions and actions for I would say 80% of the decisions in their business life, because most business decisions are just haircut decisions. Rarely do you have any tattoo decisions. You only have one or two. There are barely any decisions that is going to be your Achilles heel and completely fucks over your business. And so the reason why I bring this up is because you need to stop giving a fuck about what your life trajectory is currently on. You just need to stick with the course, make those micro decisions rapidly, and if you get it wrong, just fucking fix it. But there's not much you could do other than just make decisions fast as possible and then just adapt from there. And so I assume that this is the same issue that most entrepreneurs go to, especially if you're a young person. And so hopefully you could use this as some beacon of hope that you're on the right track. And so that's just really something I wanted to get off of my chest, and hopefully somebody else can benefit from this too. I'll see you guys on the next video.